I mean, I think a lot of this desire to circle the wagons and to go back, surely some of it, I would say a lot of it, would come from the fact that we live in a polarized society, many of us from broken families.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like the culture's stable. We're afraid of the future. We're afraid of our ideological opponents politically. And so we just need something that doesn't change, that's just reliable.
And I don't disagree with that.
But I do think that comes from that reaction from the chaos isn't good. You know, like if it feels like everything's on fire, and then it feels like the church is on fire, which is what it's been like for many of us, I'd say, over the last 10 years. We felt 10 years ago, society's on fire, but Pope Benedict's at the helm, and we are the church, and this is great. Pope Francis comes along, and people have a lot of questions about Pope Francis. It feels like he's doing a lot of questionable things, or things that we would think are wrong. And so now it feels like there's no safe space anymore. Not in my house, not in America, or wherever you live, not even in the church. So bloody hell, like I need something. And often I think that something is clung to with an inordinate fervor that turns people off and that may not be healthy. But I understand why we're doing it.
No, I do too. And I think that we have to provide that something that people can cling to. My fear is twofold here. Mm-hmm. One is that there's a great danger for the enemy to take what is a good desire and twist it into something bad. You know, Ignatius, I forget which rule it is in the Rules for Discernment Experience, you know, he's more than happy to sing in the choir, to go along with you in something that is good, but then slowly turn it. Mm. And I think the danger is that we can become jaded. We become angry. We become almost mean-spirited. And so in my desire to preserve that which is true and good and beautiful in the church, I get mad at everything that is not in accord with that. I start judging in my heart. I get jaded. There's this edge that starts, a cynicism that hearts. Regulations, is that a fruit of the Spirit? I think that's something that the enemy can move in and capture people, and it's a very dangerous thing. You and I both know people who started out, you know, full of the joy of the Lord and full of excitement about Jesus and about falling in love with Jesus and about the mission of evangelization. And now they're just angry. They're angry about everything. And you talk to them, and it's all they want to do is complain about this and complain about that and complain about this. And I just want to shake them and say, can't you see what's happened? Can't you see what's happened? You've been turned here. You've been turned. You know, when we start to lose the joy that the bridegroom brings, there should be alarm bells going off. And it brings me to the second qualification I would make to what you just said. And that is, God brings good from all things for those who love him. If he's allowing a trial within the church, just maybe there's some things we need to be learning. Just maybe some of our security was in things that are here today and gone tomorrow. Maybe we're finding our security in ecclesial politics instead of in the person of Jesus. Maybe our joy is found in particular expressions of particular spiritualities instead of in the Lord himself. Maybe there's a stripping going on here and a pruning in the church, and the Lord is bringing us back to himself. I'm not saying he caused anything in the first place, but he will use all things for good. I think that's one of the points that Ralph Martin is making. I really regard Ralph as a prophet.
Me too.
And prophets are never popular because prophets ask very uncomfortable questions that we don't like to answer. And we don't want to face the answers because it's too painful to face the answers. But when he talks about the church being under the judgment of the Lord right now, he is exposing the rot. He is letting the light fall on areas that were hidden in the darkness. I think he's right. And I think it's all for the good of Mother Church. Does it hurt? It hurts like hell. Is it painful? Oh, man. Do I find joy in being associated with some of the things that some of my brother bishops have done? It's a painful place to be. But if I step back and if I say, Jesus, what are you doing and how do I get on board with what you're doing? And I think that Ralph is right. I think that one of the things he's doing is he's He's purifying us of what maybe Francis would call an ecclesial centrism, or too much inward focus. Let's get back to focusing on the living Lord. Let's get focused on Jesus and his mission, and the church as the mystical body of Christ, empowered to live out his mission on the earth. I think we have to get back to that. I think that's why charismatic evangelization has become so important in our time. And then followed up with a real, healthy, orthodox catechesis rooted in divine revelation. Not more good ideas, but good news. And then equipping people for their mission within the church. That's where our joy is. That's where things are going to come from.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment below letting us know what you thought about the video.